What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're doing another Sinister order video. So I figured we'll review the Creepymon line since I slightly touched it on last video, and I figured we should talk about that, and then the Lucemon support. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it.
So guys, if you want to help support the channel with no extra cost, please use the affiliate link down below. It costs you nothing to support the channel, and it's just a great way of doing it while you're checking out cards that you are always ready going to be paying for. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So let's start off. We have none other than Creepymon. Creepymon got some decent support. We're not fully complete. I feel like we're going to get another wave probably next main set, because we do have the 7 Great Demon Lords in CS, so we might get some sort of support in that game, but I think at the end of the day, we are missing some key factors for Creepymon that it will evolve him even further, but right now it just definitely feels incomplete. It is definitely missing a rookie here, which could be both a Myotismon rookie or the Digimon rookie. I meant Creepymon rookie. I don't know which one it's going to be, which again could be that I'm going to be talking about that in another video, but let's just take a look. We have Pagumon, so when your opponent's Digimon is trash, draw a card. Devimon itself is start a main phase. When Digivolving, if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then if you have 10 or more cards in their trash, you may return 1 card with Fallen Angel or Undead trait from your trash to your hand. When attacking, trash the top card of both players' deck. So again, self-mill strategies do work a little bit, but unless you're playing Valgramon loop, you know, with Duskmon, there's really no true decking your opponent out, right? This will stop at 10 and fewer, so if you reach that 10 threshold, you're not going to be going crazy milling your opponent anymore. So the deck has a cap, so it definitely combos nicely into Gallant support, but at the moment I don't think Creepy's going to be able to do much. Skull Satamon is when Digivolving on deletion. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash the top 3 cards of both players' decks, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, add up to 2 of this effect's maximum level, so you can get a level 5 out of the deal, which is not bad. Being able to pop a level 5 means most likely you're going to be able to get rid of that ace target that they're playing, you know, baiting you to swing in with, but it also has a decent ability. So when attacking, if this Digimon gains security attack 1 for the turn. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in trash, instead trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. The big problem comes down to is basically early game, this doesn't do much, because again, the likelihood of your opponent being at, you know, 10 cards or more in their trash is very unlikely. Yes, his Digi-Evolution will trash 3, Devi will trash 2, so maybe get there, maybe. No guarantees. So that's something to think about just to get that security attack online. Yes, 10 is a very easy number to get to in this game, but your opponent can definitely play around it if need be. Now we do have Creepymon itself. This is like the big boy of the deck. So this kind of has the feeling similar to how we've had, you know, Bagramon and Bagra X. It just got support, and they're like, we don't know how we're gonna build this, right? And like Heavy Metal, like they're all like, we're semi-complete, but they're just too afraid to make the deck work how they really want it to work. But with Creepymon, when Digivolving on deletion, delete all your opponent's lowest level Digimon. If in effect didn't delete, trash the top 5 cards of their deck. So that's going to be where you get a little bit of the mill is, you know, Creepymon's on deletion and when Digivolving. But when attacking, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you may play 1 red or purple 5000 DP or lower Digimon from your trash to an empty breeding area without paying its cost. So it kind of makes sense, because then you get your Devimon back into raising, so you don't have to do much from there. but end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon may attack. So at least he gets 2 attacks in, well, he can get an attack in on the turn he just Digivolves, not 2 attacks, but depends on situations, right? If you guys have something that restands, like Demonic Devastation or, you know, Cerberusmon. But again, the problem comes down to, at the end of the day, this support is still lacking some crucial needed lines. It needs a full level up, to be honest with you. It's a good starting point. Same thing what happened with Bagra. It had a good starting point, but then its X line just made no sense. So I don't have high hopes for Creepymon. We do have a form that, you know, he looks like demonic and everything like that. This is just, I'm just a main character look where we kind of just have a fit where he can walk around town, right? He doesn't bring a lot of attention to his demonic boss level, right? It's like that you face the final boss status imagery. So we'll have to see if we get the other form of Creepy in another set, and then Creepy X would be amazing. Just because I feel like we have some sort of way of doing some shenanigans if we kind of do without robe, Digivolve on top of robed, and go from there. But, you know, it's all up to the cards and play styles here. So next, let's get into Lucemon itself. Lucemon got a full workup and a full facelift in this set. So first off, we have Creepymon. So when any of your Digimon with Lucemon its name moves from breeding area to battle area, you may trash 1 card in your hand, draw a card, gain a memory. So as long as this egg is under one of your Lucemons, which is very easy to do. So yeah, I mean, it's going to cost you 5 to Digivolve, which is okay with a lot of players. The fact Lucemon exists like this, you know, it's got blocker. The new Lucemon is being able to Digivolve on Creepymon for a 5 cost. It's got blocker. When Digivolving, this Digimon may move. So in breeding, it has a way of, you know, becoming a 4 cost evolve. Early game, this can be really good, especially if your opponent goes Digivolve and raising, slam down a 4 cost tamer. So this Lucemon goes hatch QP, Digi on QP for 5, move when Digivolving, this may move, so it moves. Trash a card, draw a card, gain a memory. So it becomes a 4 cost, mitigating that mem setter. So then you're kind of in a good spot there. And then end of your turn by returning 5 cards with Lucemon in their text from your trash to the bottom of the deck. This Digimon may Digivolve into Lucemon Chaos Mode from its trash without paying its cost. So being able to free evolve, especially because Lucemon evolves are expensive, because they kind of do a skip evolve. So there's no 4, no 6 in the deck, but because of how powerful the cards are, they're on par with those. So Lucemon gives an inheritable barrier, which is really solid, especially because you want to have some sort of protection. When Digivolving, when attacking by trashing 1 card in your hand, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If effect didn't delete, recovery 1. So the fact of the matter is, they can choose to delete or give you a recovery 1. So most of the time, depends on the deck. You might be willing to delete one of their Digimon to get so you don't go up in life, but you know, all turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If this effect didn't delete, it doesn't leave. So again, getting rid of this card is a problem once it's on board, because again, you're sacrificing something to get rid of this card. This is a very powerful protection because again, this gets every protection known to man. Lucemon Satan mode. So on play, when Digivolving, by placing 1 Lucemon larva from your trash to an empty breeding area without paying the cost, delete all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. So again, Satan mode is really powerful for Lucemon. This one gives a facelift to what we got for the secret. When Digivolving, when attacking, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers, and in fact didn't delete, trash the top security stack, and this Digimon unsuspends. So being able to get in a poke with Lucemon first, you're going to be surviving. Then you basically Digivolve into Satan mode. You basically force them to delete something. If it didn't delete, you trash the security stack, and this Digimon unsuspends, becoming a bigger threat to deal with, especially if you can time it right and have the right resources. And then we got Paradise Lost. This card is ridiculous. It's a 2-cost option. While you have a Digimon with Lucemon in its name, you ignore color requirements. Again, you don't really care about color requirements because you do have a purple egg and so many purple yellow combinations. But in the trash, end of your turn, you may have a Digimon with Lucemon in its name. By returning this card to the bottom deck, trash the top card of your security stack. One of your Digimon may attack without suspending. Main, until the end of your opponent's end phase. Turns end, one of your Digimon with Lucemon in its name gains Raid, Piercing, Blocker, and plus 3000 DP. This is very powerful, giving, Raid, Piercing, and Blocker to this type of Digimon. This Digimon alone being able to keep itself on board as much as it wants means that, first off, Raid with Piercing means it's going to hit for 1,600. Yeah, I mean, no, 16,000. That's very powerful. I mean, or even just giving Satan mode that ability too is ridiculous. Again, this thing being in trash means that, it's the end of your turn. You get another attack in with Raid, Piercing, and Blocker without suspending. So this means it gets to attack twice, guarantees kills 2 things. If not, it's going to kill if it dies in some way, shape, or form. So this deck became more control in a way that a lot of players are going to have trouble with. Because again, this deck just evolved into a beast that we weren't ready for. I think Lucemon actually has some legs to actually be competitive, and it's going to show. I mean, what you're going to be probably using is like Mist Memory Boost and Analog Youth, both to mill this deck as fast as possible to get to those thresholds so that you can just do, Lucemon Chaos Mode, Lucemon itself, all this good stuff. So it's really good at the end of the day where we're going to see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.